1. Here we go. Welcome back to Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Known Classics. This is episode number 3058 and Doubleshot number 2952. Now, I previously reviewed stuff. We're basically reviewing two books from the Marvel Noir line. The other thing I have reviewed that was published part of this line is the Spider-Man Noir books. The 3 volumes for that one, along with his one-shot from Edge of Spider-Verse. It's all I reviewed for the Marvel Noir universe. Now, I have talked to the creator of Spider-Man Noir. He told me this, that the reason why that Spider-Man in this book we talk about got sequels was because these books made money. All the rest of them did not. That's why he also was those books for Iron Man, Luke Cage. There was a Wolverine one, which we'll get to him. Basically, this is the only ones. This is the only one of two that got sequels because people like this one. So first up, we have this X-Men Noir, written by Fred Van Lien, artwork by Dennis Calero. Yep, we're in a Noir universe where the X-Men have no powers. So that is Cyclops. Now Xavier is a psychiatrist here, not some mutant. Iceman is a Irish hitman. You basically got with the knife. Beast himself basically is here too. Jean Grey. This is interesting. So, at one point, people think that she's actually dead. And there's also this woman named Anna Marie Rinkin. There's also mention of Mimic in here. And there's also Angel, which is interesting. Now the whole thing with Angel is that there are two angels. Now, I'm not talking about Warren's the third. They do mention he's actually dead here. He died by thinking he was an angel, so he jumped out of a high-story window. And he died. And because of that, the Xavier School for the especially wayward youth was closed up. Now, Magneto, as in the cover, he's a crooked cop. Yep. He was the chief of the detectives for this universe. So the whole thing is that they want to leave the country. And there's also Gambit's in here too. Halfway through this miniseries, Wolverine shows up. And here's the weird thing. This was not his first appearance. Prior to appearing in issue 3, he actually appeared in his own solo miniseries, Wolverine Noir, and then appeared in this very book, which made him the only character, aside from Spider-Man 2099, to appear in more than one book. And the whole thing of him is, he ran a ship, which would transfer people to go to Manchester where they grow all the corruption that was in New York City. So, all the rest of the X-Men, like Beast died first, then Iceman, of course Angel died too, and Xavier was taken into custody, Magneto later died. Yeah, basically a lot of people died in this miniseries. So, by the end of it, it's just Cyclops, like one other person leave the country. Robert Holloway, who was actually him and his brother Thomas, both Angel. I believe one of them was actually Angel of World War II, like basically overseas. And basically Far Cry in New York. But that's kind of the gist of this miniseries. It's really good. Give it roughly a 9 out of 10. In case you're curious, though, like, is there like other people associated with the X-Men part of this group aside from like Magneto? Apparently, get this. So, Gambit is a nightclub owner in this universe. Yep, he is. Oh, and also, this is interesting, though. They have this in-between stuff where it's written by Bolivar Trask, where all the names of these stories are taken from classic stories like Days of Future Past, A's for Extinction. Now, here's one. Okay, so the first issue of the Sentinels, the story is called Days of Future Past. Classic X-Men story, that one is. Then you have Mutant Massacre, obviously. That's for issue 2. Issue 3 was Age Apocalypse. That was a popular story from now of these ones like Days of Future Past, that's from the 80s, one's from the 80s too, and I think like the third one was Ease for Extinction. So, by the way, it's revealed that Anna Marie Rinkin is actually not the real person, but actually Jean Grey instead, because turns the person who actually died was in fact Anna Marie Rinkin, and Jean Grey is opposing her. Then she died, but in the miniseries. Now, why this is, I don't know. And the X are basically gangsters in this universe. Oh yeah, and here's Sean Cassidy, where he's a prisoner of, get this, Genoshan Bay. Yes, which is a prison that they later explored in the sequel miniseries. But yeah, this book is just fantastic. I give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. It's no wonder why we got a sequel. And here's the sequel right here. X-Men, The Mark of Cain. Now, the thing with also the Juggernaut made his debut, well, basically Cain Mark made his debut toward the end of this very mini-series. In this one, he gets killed off in the opening issue. Yeah, I'll get to. So, he's killed in the Cinerarch Temple where he's supposed to get the jewel. And the whole thing about this book is about the Cinerarch jewel. So, Cyclops is back from Mandrapore. Oh, in case you're curious, though, do they have these Sentinel stories in here? Here's a surprise. No, they don't. Mostly put is just, this is set before the outbreak of World War II, like a year prior. So it's kind of like a big jungle story. And, of course, Xavier introduces some brand new X-Men. Yes. And also the fact that the Fed tried to shut down Genoshan Bay, but there was some resistance. But later on, they do shut it down. Wolverine does show up here too. So Emma Frost is the warden of this place. Yes, she's the warden. And we have debut of Charles Xavier's new X-Men: Colossus, Weapon X, and Storm. You're thinking, wait, that's not Wolverine. You're right, it's not. That is actually Nightcrawler, though his code name in this book is Weapon X. Don't know the reason for it. He wears the blue mask, probably as a nod to his X-Men counterpart. Now, in case you're curious, though, is Colossus really strong like he is in the main book? He is. Is he Russian? Yes. Does his skin turn in the middle? No. Storm, aside of being black in the mohawk, like, does she have web powers? Nope. No powers. At one point, Thomas breaks out of the cell, and of course he gets out no problem. And of course he's tormented by it. Oh, by the way, the whole thing with Nightcrawler Weapon X, this actually split off in a one-shot called Weapon X Noir, which focused on his time with Weapon X program, which, yes. He also meets up with his brother Robert. Also, Shadowcat's here too, except she's like a bodyguard for Charles Xavier. She just randomly shows up in the book. She doesn't do a lot of anything. Apparently, we also and get this, we also have Scarlet Witch here, but no powers. It's just Wanda Magnus. Yep. So unlike the last book with Double Crooked Cops, this one, no. We have a version that looks like a version of S.H.I.E.L.D., where it's floating in the air. And we have a helicopter, which is something 1930s did not have. So apparently this is the place, the office of one. And they call it a dredge carrier. Oh yeah, and the guy with the glasses? You think, oh, with the glasses, you think he's Henry Peter Garrick. Nope, that is Robert Kelly. They say he's Republican of New York, Chairman Judiciary Committee. Oh yeah, and he's one responsible for blocking the Fed set from closing down Genosha, which by the way, in the book it is shut down, and Xavier is arrested for the killing of Cain Marko, which there's no mention of the fact Cain Marko was his brother in this universe. He just killed him. Oh yeah, and also the fact that, oh, here's Kitty Pryde, a woman with basically a whole bunch of warrants. Yeah, he's arrested, and of course, it's like you read the end of this, like, oh, this one gets called X-Men Noir. It's more like an Angel book. Now, by the way, this book also a 9 out of 10 as well. One thing I do criticize this trade for not including the Weapon X Noir book. You probably think it's collecting Wolverine Weapon X. Wolverine Noir. Nope. Not collected there at all. This one-shot is not in trade. Don't know the reason for it. It just is not. But there's no denying. These books are fantastic. And with that, basically, that's 2 more books from the Marvel Noir line I have covered. Yep. Now, why did the line end? I did hear something was actually the sales was probably the reason why. Man, I love the whole idea of Marvel Noir. Excuse me, yeah. The whole thing with this line is fantastic. I love the whole idea of this line. So, these series published mostly from February 2009 to mostly about December 2010. The last one published was Iron Man Noir. Yes. X-Men Noir was published it was actually the second ever miniseries, published at the same time as Spider-Man Noir. It actually included the same month, and it was replaced by Daredevil, Wolverine, and then you had Luke Cage and Punisher, and then you had the sequels to Spider-Man and X-Men Noir, and then, of course, the same month as the last issue of this miniseries. And I always find it kind of fascinating that, like I said, this one-shot is not in trade. Now, I should point out, though, the original creator behind Spider-Man Noir, he had nothing to do with Twilight and Babylon. Why in the world they waited 10 years for a third Spider-Man Noir book is questionable to me. Like, why? It didn't make any sense to me of why in the world they waited so long. By the way, I actually had met the creator I met was Fabrice Cebulski. Yeah, him I met. Great guy to meet. And when I brought with me Spider-Man Noir, Twilight and Babylon, I figured he created Spider-Man Noir, maybe he wanted to sign it. He is the only creator who actually refused to sign something I brought for them. Now, I have in the past brought books featuring books that these writers didn't write, but they feature a character they created. He is the only one who actually blatantly refused, and I bought a cheap edit from him instead. But in case you're curious, though, have I ever met Fred Van Lin? Nope, I have not. Now, unlike some of his other books, usually it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek type of storytelling, this one, he is very serious. And it's a shame that Marvel ended this line after like a year. Yes, after publishing for 1 year, you would think, wow, such good books. And yet, like, the weird thing is, like, this was the Mark of Cain book. That was the third to last book ever released when it was originally published. And then they stopped publishing for 10 years. Why? Don't know why. Now, of course, also, like I mentioned, Wolverine himself is featured in the sequel too, which makes him the only other character, aside from Spider-Man Noir, appearing in multiple books. He's made a total number of 6 appearances. 6. Actually, more like 10. He's appeared in 10 comics. His own 4-issue miniseries, issues 3 and 4 of this book, and this entire miniseries. Yeah, why they made Logan a boat captain was interesting. And he is by far the only character who appeared in a separate book before appearing in this book. He's the only character to do that. Now, in case you're curious though, was Wolverine Noir published at the same time as this book? Technically, no. You could say X-Men Noir was technically his first appearance. If you're going to ask, in the Wolverine Noir trade, is in fact the Weapon X one-shot collecting there? Nope. As for why it's not reprinted, it's a complete mystery to me. Well, it's a content with heavily printed part of. There was a trade paperback release in 2013 called Marvel Noir, Wolverine and the X-Men. Which this trade here collected the Wolverine Noir miniseries, X-Men Noir, X-Men Cain, and the Weapon X one-shot. Weapon X is, in fact, well, actually he's referred to as Dean. Weapon X is actually Calvin Ricken. You're thinking, wait, Calvin Ricken? Why does his name sound familiar? Because in the main universe, this guy was Mimic. Yeah, this guy was Mimic in the main Marvel universe. He does play the Ultiverse, but he's only around for like one issue of a comic, and that was it. Now, in case you're curious about like who was part of the evil bad guys, aside from the Brotherhood. So we have Bishop here in the main miniseries, except he gets killed off. Apparently he was like a bouncer for that one. So we have one guy in here named Orville Whitewill, which I'm sure this guy's probably named after Orson Welles. There's also Horns Halem Houdini Hobbs. So, as the Brotherhood itself, in the opening issue of the book, the Brotherhood is comprised of Magneto and Fred Dukes, aka the Blob, who is drawn to be probably like Harry Bullock from the X from Marvel. There's also Toad. Yeah, Toad appeared in issue 2, and he only appeared in one issue, and he got killed the same issue. And the other member was Peter Magnus, aka Quicksilver Marvel Universe. Yeah, he got killed off in issue 3. Yeah, he's Magnus' son. And he got killed off roughly after 3 issues. His sister, meanwhile, well, she was arrested. She appeared in the main miniseries, the first 2 issues. And then she becomes a regular character in Mark of Cain. Yeah, and Jean herself died by the end of the miniseries. Oh, in case you're curious, though, was Jean ever involved with Scott Summers' universe? Not really, no. And it's interesting, though, the fact that Thomas Holloway, yeah, he's featured in both these books, too, but after these 2 books wrap up, he's never seen again. No, not really. Okay, Logan First actually was a cameo issue, too. But, yeah, he basically is... appears in a ton of books, like X Noir, Wolverine Noir, and then Mark Cain. It could probably only appear in that one issue. Yep. Oh yeah, and Cyclops rejoins the X-Men in the sequel miniseries. You curious which one? Well, he rejoins by the final issue. Oh, and Nightcrawler? Yeah, he's actually, well, he's German. Yeah, one of 2 German characters in the Marvel Universe. The other is Dr. Octopus. Except he couldn't be tried, so they have him deported. Yeah. But it's a shame, basically, they never did anything more with the Marvel Noir line. Like, did the X-Men of the Marvel Universe, with the exception of, So, of the ones who died, per se, Warren Warrington III, Angel, he was basically, well, he was killed off screen in he was real dead issue 4. Beast, he basically was here for the whole mini-series. Yep. If you're curious, who's the first person to die? It was Iceman. Yeah, he was surprisingly the first one to die. Well, they started killing these characters off by issue 4. Mm-hmm. So it's Robert Holloway is one who gets killed off here. Yeah, there's also Union Sentinels in here too. Yeah, it's like, yeah, any cool characters we have here gets killed off by the end of the miniseries. Yep. But not much else to say about this book. It's really good. I definitely recommend it. Yep. So yeah, this particular review, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the like button. Well, next up basically is Blue Exorcist. Okay, next video. Bye.